Mindful Life Practice community.
Okay, so we're going to start our practice in seated. And then let's just place one hand on the heart and one hand on the belly. I've been thinking a lot right now about a time in my life when I was really struggling with depression. And one of the things that I did not do very well during that time was that I didn't force myself to show up for yoga, force myself to exercise. And what I have learned throughout life is that at the times when you least want to exercise or do yoga or least want to see people, it's often the times when you need it the most. So if you're going through a rough patch right now, take a second right now, or even if you're not going through a rough patch, take a second to acknowledge the fact that you showed up here. You could be doing anything else right now, but you're here. And that action shows a commitment to your own well-being despite whatever else is happening right now. So thank yourself for that, because I know it's not always easy. If you have any intention for your practice right now, like to stretch or to strengthen or to practice present moment awareness, whatever you want it to be, just acknowledge that now. And then practice some slow and deep breaths. Scientifically proven that if we slow the breath, we can transition from a more anxious state to a more calm state. And let's take one more breath. And then just release your palms. We're going to drop our right earlobe down towards our right shoulder. And then take the right palm up and anchor the right palm on the side of the head. And then just stretch through the left traps muscle. And then I'll invite you to play with your left arm. So you can lengthen it out and then maybe bend the wrist a little bit until you hit a sweet spot. And then can you lift your head all the way back up through center? And then just feel the difference of left side as opposed to right. And then take the opposite way, dropping the earlobe, anchoring the palm, and then playing with the wrist. And then lift your head all the way back up through center. And let's inhale and reach both of our arms up towards the sky. And then we'll interlace the palms and then stretch over towards the right. So you're lengthening through the left side rib cage now. And can you breathe your breath in towards the left rib? Breathe your breath. That was a weird thing. Inhale. And then come all the way back up through center. And then drop over towards the left. Come all the way up, release your grip, breath in. And then rotate towards the right side. Right fingertips land behind you. Left palm lands on your right thigh, gazing over the shoulder. And then come all the way back up through center, lift through the arms. And then twist the opposite way. Let's come all the way back up. Arms reach up overhead. And then place the palms into heart center. And we're gonna come up and over onto the hands and knees. And then move our bodies through a few cat-cow flows. So on the inhale, tilt the pelvis and lift the chin. And then exhale, curl the spine and tuck the chin. And then keep rippling like a wave, moving with your breath. I'm just gonna look for my hair tie as you do that. Something that I've been working on all my life is just like putting things down and walking away from them. It's mindlessness. I need to practice mindfulness. One such thing was this morning when I locked myself out of my apartment and was 15 minutes late to teach the yoga class. And when I called the maintenance guy, he was like, can you tell me about the incident? What happened? And I was like, the incident was that I literally just walked out of the apartment without my keys. Like, it was not an incident. This was my own fault. Come all the way back through center. Leave your left palm on the mat. Breathe your right arm up towards the sky. And then thread your right arm underneath your left. And I was telling my students this morning that something happened to me when I lived in Kuwait. My employer had the keys to our apartment and they would let themselves in without warning to do unscheduled maintenance. And sometimes people would find out that they had been inside our apartments because their pets had gone missing. They'd left the doors open, the pets had escaped. No advance notice, no warning, no permission asked for or received. And this morning when I woke up and locked myself out of my apartment, I just immediately thought that, you know, someone would have a key, like the landlord, the apartment building, whatever. Come all the way back through center. And then we're gonna twist this the opposite way. So your right palm stays, your left arm lifts up. And then you thread it the opposite way. Anyway, no one has the keys to my apartment except me. And, well, one of my friends, but she's out of the country. And so I had to pay to get the lock replaced. And I was standing there thinking, you know, this is an inconvenience, but how lucky am I to be the only person that has the keys to my apartment. How lucky am I to be in such a safe and positive work and living environment where I don't have to worry about someone letting themselves into my apartment when I'm not home. And I don't have to worry about things being stolen out of my house. I don't have to worry about my pet going missing. And anyway, I think sometimes we can get caught up in the stuff happening in our lives and be super grumpy about it. And this was a moment this morning when I was just super grateful for what a privilege I have to live in a home that's safe. Can you take one more breath in this twist? And then come all the way back up through center. And then sit the hips back on the heels. Let's rest into our child's pose. So ground the forehead, rest the hips. And I want you to, if you want to, take a moment to think of some of those things that you're grateful for. That you're here, that you're practicing yoga. That might be one of them. Just identify these things now. And then slowly come all the way up into table. Leave your left knee where it is. Reach your right leg behind you. Keep your right hip level with your left. And then take your left arm out in front of you. So you're extending now from your left fingertips all the way to your right heel. Now, if you're wiggling and struggling with your balance, just anchor your left palm. It's all good. Let's take a breath in, stay where we are. And then exhale, elbow to knee. So it's like a tiny bit of core. Breathe in, lengthen. And then exhale, elbow to knee. 2 more. One more. And then inhale, extend. Now I'm going to invite you, if you want to take a little back bend, you're going to kick your heel back, see if you can grip your left palm to your right ankle, and then maybe do a little bit of a heart opener. And then release your left palm, release your right leg, land your left palm, take your left toes off the side of the mat, stack your right hip on your left, and then reach your right arm up towards the sky. And then if you want to take one more back bend, you might kick your right heel back and then grip your right palm to your right ankle and then just open your heart a little bit. And then release your grip, release your right hand and your right foot. And then can you land your right foot and then just lift up into kind of this modified warrior 2. And then reverse your warrior. My old school in Kuwait, we were supposed to have a pool, but it was under construction for 18 months. The Middle East is pretty hot. Anyway, seeing people in a pool right now, that's something to be grateful for, isn't it? Come all the way back, land both palms. And then we'll take the opposite side. So you're going to extend your left leg. And then extend your right arm, and then find yourself balancing here. And then we'll breathe in, and then elbow meets knee. Take 3 more. 2 more. Last one. And then inhale to extend. And then can you kick the heel back and see if you can grip your right palm to your left ankle. Nice. And then just release that. And then land your right palm, take your right toes off the mat. Inhale, lift all the way up so your left arm extends, your left leg extends. And then maybe you kick the heel back and take another back bend like this, just opening the heart, feeling it out. Release the left foot, release the left palm. Land the left foot, lift up. And then we'll reverse the warrior, opening through the right side body. And then come all the way back, land the palms. Tuck the toes, lift all the way up to your first downward facing dog. Try to create length along your spine so that your hips are reaching up towards the sky. And then you're evenly planting through both palms, and then maybe bending one knee and then next. Just walking out the dog, saying hello to your hamstrings, getting acquainted with how they're doing, what's happening. And then can you walk your hands back to meet your feet at the back of the mat? Bend the knees a lot, grip opposite elbows, let your head dangle. Release the grip. Take a breath in, halfway lift. Take an exhale, fold. Step your toenails together, bend through the knees, sit the hips back, lift your arms up. Find yourself in your chair, your Utkatasana, and can you stay in your Utkatasana for 3, for 2, and then for 1, press through the feet, lift all the way up to stand. Take your palms into heart center. This pose is called mountain pose. Can you imagine that you are strong like a mountain here? Your feet, the sturdy base. Your head is the point of this mountain. And as seasons change and as things change in your life, you remain strong and steady and firmly planted like the mountain. Just being non-reactive to that ever-changing kaleidoscope of your life. And then you're going to use your feet to slowly walk all the way to the front of your mat, slowly and mindfully, 1 foot at a time. And then once you land at the top of your mat, take 1 more breath in stillness. Let's take an inhale, reach the arms up towards the sky. And then exhale, dive into a fold. Take an inhale, halfway lift. Take an exhale, fold. And then inhale the arms all the way up. And exhale the palms at heart center. Keep going. Yeah, you got it. Let's just do 1 more. Inhale, arms up towards the sky. Exhale, forward fold. You got it. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, lower. Can you leave your right foot and then step your left foot all the way back on the mat? Nice. And then just rock back and forth. Kind of getting into the hip. And then land the left knee on the mat, untuck the toes. We're gonna inhale the arms up towards the sky. And then let's just stay for a moment in our low lunge. I think sometimes I feel like this pose in itself is too simple, so I add things. I'm like, let's do a funky thing with our arms to make it more interesting. But can we just be in the simplicity of this pose? Just, this is it. Nothing fancy. And take one more breath. And then reach your arms out at shoulder height in front of you. Now leave your left arm where it is, and I want you to imagine you're like pulling a bow and arrow back with your right arm, so you're pulling. And then the right arm is gonna reach all the way back, and now you're in this twist. And then can you reach the left arm forward and land the left palm to the inside of the left foot, or sorry, right foot. So that's just a different way of entering this pose. And how does entering it a different way change your perspective? Change the experience. Now you can either stay like this, or if you want to invite in and integrate a quad stretch, you can. Keeping your left heel back, gripping your right palm to the left foot. And then can you release the left foot and take the right palm forward? Nice, we're gonna walk the fingertips back as we lengthen over the right leg. And then you're just gonna take a few rounds of breath, humbling your heart into the right hamstring. And walk your fingertips back. Plant the palms. You're gonna tuck the left toes, lift the left knee once again. And then step your right foot back to meet the left, so you're back into a plank. And then move through a vinyasa. Nice, coming all the way back up to your down dog. I love that first vinyasa. I love when my back cracks. I'm always like, I wonder if you guys can hear that. Bend through the knees, gaze forward. Step your feet up to meet your hands. Take an inhale, halfway lift. Take an exhale, fold. And then bend through the knees, sit back, find your chair, your Utkatasana. And let's stay for 3. For 2. And then for 1, take it forward again, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, lower. Leave your left foot where it is. Step your right foot back on the mat. And then you're gonna rock forward and back, getting into the hips. And then land your right knee, untuck your toes. And then inhale your arms up towards the sky. And then just stay. Simply low lunge. Let's take one more round of breath. And then reach both arms forward. And leave your right arm where it is. You're going to peel your left arm back if you're pulling back that bow and arrow, like you're twisting. And then now you're going to plant the right palm and just anchor it. How does that feel? And then if you want to kick the heel back and take it into your quad stretch, go ahead. Now, can you release the right foot? Take the left palm forward. And then walk your fingertips back as you lengthen over the left leg, and then just take a few rounds of breath. Walk your hands forward. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee. Step your left foot back to meet your right. Let's hang out in our plank for a few breaths. Nice, and then just land the knees onto the mat. Untuck the toes, and then slowly lower, elbows drawn back. Take your palms off of the mat. Fingertips are rooted and elbows are lifting up. And then we'll move through a few back bends, inhaling the heart up. And then exhaling it back down. Nice, let's just do one more. And then slowly come down. So we're gonna do a little shoulder stretch. I don't know what it's actually called. I often call it broken wing thing in my notes. So you're gonna extend we'll start with the left arm since you guys can see it, and place your right palm on the mat underneath your right shoulder. And then push into your right palm as you lift your right hip up, and then land your right toes behind you. So this is a stretch through the back of your left shoulder. And then we'll come all the way back through center. And then extend your right arm out. Plant your left palm under your left shoulder. Lift all the way up and rotate. Come all the way back. Let's place the palms underneath the shoulders. Lift all the way up to a table. And then you're going to spread through the palms, come all the way back up to a down dog. Now with your left foot planted, you're going to bring your right leg up towards the sky, three-legged dog. Then just stay here, right leg extended. Draw the right knee in. Step the right foot between your palms. Lift all the way up. Nice. Let's open into warrior two. So landing your left heel, reaching your right fingertips forward, left arm back. It's like one long line from fingertips to fingertips. And then when you're ready, inhaling, lifting the right arm up and expanding through the rib cage. And then coming all the way forward, right elbow on the right thigh, left fingertips forward. Let's keep going like this, inhaling, reversing. Exhaling, extended side angle. 2 more. One more. And then come all the way back up into your warrior two. Lengthen through the right leg. And then we'll turn the right toes so that all 10 toes are facing the side wall. And then take your palms onto opposite elbows and then just hinge forward. So you're dangling in a forward fold. Drop your head. Let it go. Rock your head no. Wiggle it yes. And then release your grip. And then slowly, slowly roll up to stand. Now we're going to turn the left toes to face the back of the mat and then bend through the left knee. And then just simply find yourself in warrior two again. Gazing over the left shoulder, standing in stillness. And then inhale, reverse. And then exhale, extended side angle. And then we'll take that 3 more times. Two more. One more. And then slowly just come all the way back up to the warrior two again. Let's lengthen. Turn all 10 toes to face the side wall again. And then this time interlace the palms. Breathe in. And then we'll hinge forward. And this time the arms are lifting up behind you. We call this wood chopper pose in kids yoga. I completely lost my train of thought there. I was like, oh, what? Guess the kids imagine chopping wood. And then can you press through the feet to lift all the way back up to stand? And then turn your left toes to face the back of the mat. We're gonna do a mandala today, just a really small one. So windmill your palms to frame the foot. So now you should be backwards, facing the back of your mat. Step your left foot back, find yourself in a plank. Move through a vinyasa. Bringing your body into a down dog on this side. And then inhale your left leg up and then just stay. A few rounds of breath. Curl your left knee in. Step your left foot between your palms. And then we'll do the same thing, coming all the way up to your warrior two. So familiar pose, we've been here before. And then can you invite in your movement? Just a few more. And then this time, lift all the way to upright. Lengthen through your left leg. Walk your right foot in a tiny bit. We're gonna hinge forward and then clock your left arm alongside your left leg. Take your right arm up and then just stay in your triangle. And then bend through the left knee, come all the way upright. Lengthen through your left leg, turn your left toes in. And then let's forward fold, wide-legged forward fold. Right fingertips can land this time as your left arm lifts all the way up. And then we'll twist it out the opposite way. One more of each. And then land your right palm. We'll press through the feet, come all the way back up to stand. And then just turn your right toes to face the front of the mat again. Bend through the right knee. We're all the way back, warrior two. Extension from right fingertips all the way through left fingertips. And then when you're ready to start moving, inhale, reverse. Exhale, extended side angle. You're almost bringing it into like a bit of mindful movement. Simply yoga, simple repetition, nothing fancy. And then come all the way up. Lengthen through the right leg. Reach the right arm down. And then take your right arm alongside your right leg. Just finding your triangle. And then we'll bend through the right knee, coming all the way back up to the warrior two. Just one more reverse. Inhale, expand. And then on your exhale, windmill, palms to the mat, frame the foot. Lovely. Step your right foot back to meet your left. And then move through a vinyasa. Nice. Come all the way back to your down dog. And then let's bend through the knees and gaze forward. Just take the feet up to meet the hands. And then slowly roll all the way up to stand. So we're gonna come into one standing balance pose. We're just gonna take tree pose today. So leave your right foot as your root. Lift your left leg up. Land your left foot somewhere on the inside of the right leg. And then you can place the palms at heart center. So the left foot can be on the thigh, it can be on the shin, it can be on the ankle. You just want to avoid having it on the knee. Take one more breath. And then just land your left foot. Opposite side, leave your left foot where it is. Lift your right leg. Place your right foot somewhere along the inside of the left leg. And then just take one more breath. And then we'll land the right foot. Take an inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, lower. And then just step all the way back to a down dog. If you do want to take a vinyasa, go ahead. We're going to come into a deep hip stretch. We're going to come into pigeon pose. So you're going to take your right leg up towards the sky. And then draw your right knee in. Lay your right shin across the width of the mat. And then just wiggle your left knee back. And then breathe in, lift at your heart. And then can you lower, maybe onto the elbows? And find and feel what's happening in your hip crease today. I have a lot of tightness in my hip today. Just notice it. Take one more breath. And then slowly come onto the palms. Tucking the toes. Lifting all the way up and back to down dog. And then take your left leg up. Draw your left knee in. Lay the left shin across the width of the mat. Wiggle the right knee back in space. Take an inhale, lift up. And then on your exhale, lower. Resting to the elbows. Take a few more rounds of breath. And then you're going to slowly come up. And then can you roll onto your left hip and then just take your right knee all the way around. Land your heels, slowly lower. Press through the feet, lift the hips up. We're going to take one more back bend, just a simple bridge. Roll the shoulders under, interlace the palms. And then press through the feet, lift and expand through your heart space. Take one more breath. And then can you release your grip? Slowly lower vertebrae upon vertebrae. Last thing that lands is your hips. Take your knees into your chest. Open your arms into cactus. Drop your knees over to the right. Drop your gaze over to the left. And then if you want to land your right palm on your left thigh, go ahead. And then take your right arm open. Draw your knees through center. And then drop them the other way, landing your left palm on your right thigh, gazing over the right shoulder. Take one more breath. And come all the way back up through center. Take your knees into your chest. Give your body a little hug. We're just going to do one pranayama practice, one breathing practice before we come into our shavasana. So if you're comfortable coming back up to seated, you're going to use your right hand. Take your two right peace fingers, place them on your third eye, so the place between your eyebrows. Now what you're going to do is use your right thumb. You're going to plug your right nostril. You're going to take a big inhale through your left nostril. And then you're going to plug the left nostril and exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Plug the right nostril, exhale through the left. Keep going. Let's do one more. Making sure you exhale through your left. And then just land your right palm after and take a complete breath in through both nostrils. And an emptying exhale. And then find your way either into a seated shape or into a shavasana, your choice. Just knowing I'll bring you back in a couple of minutes when the time is up. This is my fight song, take back my life song, prove I'm alright song. My power's turned on, starting right now, I'll be strong. I'll play my fight song, and I don't really care if nobody else believes. I've still got a lot of fight left in me. Just give your fingers and your toes a little wake up wiggle. Run a nice long stretch, fingertips all the way through toes. And then take your knees into your chest, give your body a nice little hug. And then slowly make your way up to a seated shape. Taking your palms at your heart center. We close with an intention. It's an ancient intention, but it's the original intention. And it's been passed from heart to heart year after year. It's that our yoga practice remains steady, that our efforts on this path remain continuous, and that our yoga serves and benefits all beings everywhere. May all beings be safe, be happy, be healthy, be free, and may the thoughts and actions of each of our lives contribute towards this. So sealing with an Om, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling through to make the Om. Big breath in, big breath out, big breath in. Thank you so much for sharing this space and this practice. Without you, would not exist. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a lovely rest of your day. Om Shanti Shanti, peace. Namaste. Thank you guys for joining.